All right, UFC Nashville took place last night, and it was an all right card. Not too bad. Went 9-3 on predictions, bringing my overall record to 176 and 88. And we're gonna do a recap and breakdown of the card. Derrick Lewis. So I know when I was on this video on Wednesday, I believe it was, and dropped the video, I picked Allison Teixeira, but if you follow my Instagram, I did end up switching to Derrick Lewis later in the week. So that's a Derrick Lewis win. And I'm counting it as a win on my picks because that's what I picked. You got to follow my Instagram if you don't. Come on, you're a loser. But no, great win from Derrick Lewis. As the week went on, I just kept thinking more and more because you guys know how like back and forth I was on Taliesin Teixeira and Derrick Lewis and like what's really going to happen in this fight and is Taliesin Teixeira even that good? I I just listen. I know that it might have been an early stoppage, and I guess we'll talk about the fight in that sense too. But he did get dropped really bad. Got beat. Like I would have thought it would have been a good stoppage if it happened 3 to 4 seconds before Herzog actually stopped it. It's just he stopped it when Taliesin Teixeira was getting up. But the other part of that is Taliesin Teixeira was holding onto the cage for dear life on his to get back to the feet. And if you're getting rocked like that, they're either going to stop it and take a point or they're going to stop the fight. But granted, this is a finishing sequence that's happening right now. So if Herzog stops it to take a point, you give Taliesin Teixeira time to recuperate, which I don't think he deserves for cheating like that. So I'm kind of okay with it. It is what it is. Derrick Lewis gets a knockout win. Taliesin Teixeira, even though it was super quick, I saw enough to know he is overrated as fuck. He can't defend his chin. He wasn't using his range that well at all either. He kind of like eye poked Derrick Lewis. Um, yeah, I just think he's overrated and he's not in like great shape. Derrick Lewis is literally in better shape than this guy. He's a young prospect. He'll end up, he'll start bouncing back. I'm confident of it because unranked heavyweight is a nightmare. But this guy knocking out Junior to our Justin Tafa in 35 seconds did not warrant him being ranked number 14 at heavyweight and getting him a Derrick Lewis matchup in a main event. It didn't warrant it. It was just going to be a mismatch, and it ended up being one. Derrick Lewis, the second he caught him on the chin, sat him down, and Derrick Lewis looked like he was just. He looked like he had a little bit of his swagger back. Like when he was fighting Pavlovich, he was afraid to get hit by Pavlovich. You could see it. When he was fighting Taliesin Teixeira here, he's like, I don't give a shit. I'm going in for it. Even against Tai Tuivasa, he ended up trading a little bit, but he receded a lot. Like he wasn't like stepping forward with anything. But in this one, he was. He throws his jumping switch kick and everything too, and he ends up getting a knockout of Taliesin Teixeira with a big left overhand that he's like switching stances. He throws the right hand, switches and throws the left over the top, and ends up dropping Teixeira real bad. So it was a great knockout win. Got that one right. The reason I was picking him is there was just a ton of factors of like, you heard me rant about it in the video the whole time during the predictions. I'm like, I just don't think this guy's that good. Maybe he beats Derrick Lewis, but I don't think he's that good. Then I switched it up at the end of the week saying, dude, I think Derrick Lewis is getting this one done, and he did. Taliesin Teixeira is overrated, man. He's young. He doesn't have a lot of experience. He's just coming off a Tafa win, and then you have Derrick Lewis, who's been in there with everybody. Looks like he's in the best shape. He took this camp very seriously. Looks like he's in the best shape of his life at 40, which is crazy. And then you have the whole Brazilian curse thing. Like Brazilians don't win main events this year, apparently. Like they're 0-9 now. So I like thinking about that. I was actually like, dude, Taliesin Teixeira is not going to be the one to break this curse. So I picked Derrick Lewis. He got it done. Great win from Derrick Lewis. The title run keeps moving on, baby. Great post-fight speech too. Who do you want next in your fight? I've been away from home for 2 weeks. I want my wife next. Ground and pound. All that shit. Unreal. Starts taunting the corner because he said the corner was talking shit. Not bad, man. Not bad, Derrick Lewis. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Gabriel Bonfim. Now, I'm seeing a lot of people out there call this a robbery. I wanted Unk to win real bad too. You can give Stephen Thompson the win. I can still see an argument for Gabriel Bonfim. I can. Bonfim landed some good punches in the beginning of round 3 also that people are just negating. Like Wonderboy landed the best shot with the kicks. But Gabriel Bonfim landed some good shots with his hands as well here in round 3. Because round 1's clear Gabriel Bonfim. Round two ends up being clear Wonderboy Thompson at the end with a great flurry and great kicks to like hurt Bonfim. So it's 1-1 going into three. In the beginning part of the round, they are trading a little bit, right? Like Wonderboy is getting those kicks off, landing a really good kick. And Bonfim's landing some good shots with his punches. When he's throwing the hook right hand, the 3-2, he's landing that too really good and kind of spinning Thompson around a bit. So I don't mind them giving Bonfim the decision. I think a split was destined to happen in this one. It just felt like a very, very close fight, but everyone wanted Wonderboy to win, and they didn't give him the decision. I think it was a very, very close fight, though. I don't think that this was by any means a robbery. I know Guru's calling it a robbery, I believe. Um, I really don't think it was. I'm gonna keep it real, dude. You know how I like to be like defending the youngs, defending the strikers, like defending damage. But from what I saw in this fight, I did think Bonfim did land some damage. I kind of did score it to Bonfim myself, especially with the way him ending, just like Wonderboy not really being able to do much. Um, Again, it wasn't a lot, but he was landing a little bit of rabbit punches when they were in the clinch at the end to kind of try and seal the look for himself. So when you're the judge and you're looking at that, and Wonderboy really only landed a pretty decent kick, and then you see Bonfim land some good punches and have control in the grappling, I'm gonna give that one to Bonfim probably. But it was a very close fight. I wouldn't have hated a Stephen Wonderboy Thompson scorecard either. It's really a coin flip. Like I don't you're gonna have to watch it. It's one of these ones you're gonna watch back and you're gonna score round three both ways multiple times you watch it. So I don't think this is a robbery by any means. But if Wonderboy got the decision, I wouldn't have been upset either. I'm not really that upset that Gabriel Bonfim got the decision. Of course, I wanted Wonderboy to win, but they didn't give it to him. At least we're in a spot now where he's probably gonna take like a retirement fight against someone much easier, and they're not gonna give him someone like crazy because he's not going to be ranked, right? They're going to give him someone, hopefully, that Wonderboy can go out on a win against. Don't know why he has to fight grapplers, but honestly, his defensive grappling's not bad. Like, he defended the choke very well in round one, and he was able to manage distance and keep range very well. He was fast landing kicks. The counters were good. But yeah, Wonderboy ends up not getting the nod. Bonfim did. It's 50-50, man. Like I'm not gonna sit here and call this a robbery. I thought it was very, very close. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm sure everyone's gonna say it's a robbery because that's what people do when they don't like the way a decision went. Even if it's close, they're just gonna scream robbery, but it is what it is. Calvin Kattar versus Steve Garcia. This was one-way traffic. Calvin Kattar looked a lot more hesitant in this fight than I remember him being usually. Um, I just think he's struggling on his legs, bro. I think that injury to his knee really kind of kind of takes control of his career now. It's sad to see. It really is because Calvin Kattar was a very, very good fighter, and he's got boxing skills. He's tough as nails and stuff like that. The performance against Giga Chikadze is like all time so good. But he's on this little skid, man, where I thought he beat Josh Emmett. But then, he gets hurt against Allen, and now, like, you got the Aljo, the Zalal, and the Garcia losses back to back to back, where it's tough. It's a tough one, man. I feel real bad. But let's talk about Steve Garcia, man. He looked pretty good. I picked Calvin Kattar. I thought Steve Garcia was going to slow down later in the fight. He didn't. He put a lot of volume out there. And he landed very, very well. He was landing the straight two very well. He's very, very long, uses his range very, very well, uses some of those push kicks very well. But he did a good job of mixing up the head and the body. Was landing the two to the body, landing the two upstairs, and doing a good job of like putting Calvin Kattar on the back foot the whole time. He had Calvin Kattar moving backwards a lot. And just made it so Calvin Kattar couldn't get any offense off. Like the only thing Calvin Kattar was able to do was think about defense, try and defend all these strikes. He threw 250 strikes in 15 minutes, so it was a really good performance from Garcia. Schooled him every round. And Calvin Kattar's movement didn't look the best, didn't look like it has in the past. And he's usually a very pressure fighter. He's usually walking forward, but was unable to do that in this fight. He kind of just got dog walked a little bit by Steve Garcia, and like that's how Steve Garcia fights, right? He's a pressure fighter, moving forward, throws a lot of volume, and Steve Garcia didn't get a finish, but he did get a knockdown. Calvin Kattar's tough, man, but Yeah, this is a big win for Steve Garcia, a guy to get in the rankings. He'll probably be ranked like 15 here, um, maybe 14, and we'll see where it goes. There's a couple of interesting matchups you can do with him here, and let's see if he can make a run here at featherweight. So I think he's pretty good. So I get yeah, good performance from Steve Garcia, just kind of dominated Cater. Morgan Charrier versus Nate Landwehr. This was one of those fights that's like it's sad to see Nate Landwehr go out, but it was a really good back and forth fight. Very, very even. I thought it was 1-1 going into the third. I thought Nate Landwehr looked like he was starting to take over a little bit, landing good volume, pumping the jab out, landing it very well. Crowd was going pretty good, crazy during this fight. And then in the third round, just right at the start, Charrier hurts Nate Landwehr and then just starts winging hooks like crazy and ends up knocking out Nate Landwehr. So um, it was a good little striking performance. There were a couple of moments in the grappling where Charrier was able to get a takedown, which I was pretty impressed with. Would have thought Nate Landwehr would have been able to defend those, but Charrier did get good couple of takedowns. He was able to mix it up more too, and I think that was very helpful for him to go to the legs, go to the body a little bit more than Nate Landwehr does. And it opened up those punches upstairs. So overall, I thought Charrier had a great performance. It was all right, right? Like they did trade a little bit back and forth, but it was a pretty good fight. It was a pretty good fight, and he ends up getting the win by knockout in round three, which is crazy because Nate Landwehr is usually the guy that takes over later in the fight, and he was starting to. But when Charrier is blitzing forward like that and he's just winging hooks, it is what it is, man. Like he caught him on the chin, and he just didn't let go. So good knockout win for Morgan Charrier. Um, it's interesting. Like don't really know what to do with Nate Landwehr from here, but yeah, he's on a little bit of a skid now too, right? Like it was Du Ho Choi and Morgan Charrier. So we'll see what's next. But good performance from Charrier, and honestly, he took some damage, but not enough where I think he can't turn around in 2 months and make it on a France card against a lower level opponent so he can try and get a layup win. You know what I mean? So good win from Charrier. Sorry, my voice is so hoarse, dude. I need to stop yelling when I go out, man. It's all the singing. Um, Vitor Petrino versus Austin Lane. Good debut from Vitor Petrino. This really was a layup of a matchup for him, but yeah, he was able to. He had a pretty ominous presence in that cage. He looks huge, and Austin Lane's a huge guy also. But Vitor Petrino put on legit. He did a good bulk up, put on legit muscle mass, and doesn't look fat now at heavyweight. But he put on legit muscle mass. He looks like a very big dude with a lot of power at heavyweight. And he's got good grappling too, so he was able to go out there, get Austin Lane down within the first minute of the fight, and end up just dominating in the grappling, landing little pitter patter shots, yes, but then threatening with submissions. And eventually, Austin Lane gives up his back. Vitor Petrino gets the rear naked choke and gets a submission win. So I don't know. I got high hopes for Vitor Petrino here at heavyweight. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's faster than a lot of these guys. I think he's very, very physically strong. Like he's not small when he's out there. He looks like a fucking brick shithouse. So I think it's going to be very difficult for a lot of these guys to end up fighting him. So see Vitor Petrino, maybe like a Kennedy and Nzechiku matchup next. God, I'm struggling. But Vitor Petrino had a really, really good win in this one. So gets a submission. It was a layup. So like I don't want to be like really, really good win, but he did dominate Austin Lane like the whole time. Austin Lane landed 2 low kicks and a body shot. And Vitor Petrino ended up just getting him down and getting a submission. So great performance there. Dude, can we cut the Tafas, bro? They're not good. They really aren't. Junior Tafa almost knocked out Tuco Tokos twice and fumbled it because he doesn't know how to defend a takedown. And instead of defending the takedown and working underhooks, in round 2, Junior Tafa rocks Tuco Tokos bad, sits him down, and then Tuco Tokos goes to his back. Tafa, smart move, letting him go back to the feet. So what happens? Tuco Tokos ends up blitzing forward with like one of those Sean Strickland jumping kicks, gets in on the takedown, and Junior Tafa doesn't go to defend the takedown. He goes to start throwing elbows with his hands up high, so that way he has no leverage and no ability to even push down in the head or anything. He has no idea how to defend a takedown. Tuco Tokos was able to get him down 5 times and control the fight for most of the time. It was just bad, dude. It was really bad. Like the Tafa Bros are not good. They're just fat Australian looking guys that you're like, dude, look at how hard they punch. They're crazy. They're the Tafa Bros. Dude, they stink. He just got subbed by Tuco Tokos, and he has no idea how to defend submissions either. He like gives them up so easy. That arm triangle you could see coming from a mile away, and he did nothing to stop it. It's like he just let Tuco Tokos pass his guard so that way he can lock it in the triangle. So annoying, bro. Tuco Tokos gets the submission win. Very, very easy win for him, honestly. Like, he did get rocked a couple times, I will say that. The Tapas have power, and he's pretty precise when he strikes, but he has no ability to grapple. He has no ability to counter grapple. It was the easiest. Dude, that takedown that Tuco Toko shot in round two was way too easy, and it was just consistent. Like, so bad, dude. Watching the Tafa Bros suck, dude. I'm never picking a Tafa Bro again. And you want to know something? Dana's gonna put them on the main card of some bullshit again. The Tafas should never be on a main card of anything. Never on the main card of anything. They suck, dude. You put them on there for no reason, dude. They're not. They don't have fans. I don't get it. Cut them both. We don't care. The fans don't like them. The real fans don't. Max Griffin versus Chris Curtis. I'm kind of surprised this was a split. I thought round one was very clear to Max Griffin, and he was kind of like sticking and moving and just able to get away from Chris Curtis. And I was watching the first round. I'm like, dude, how the fuck is Chris Curtis not able to land on this guy? Like, Max Griffin's no absolute stud. But again, like I said, it would end up being a close decision. Chris Curtis, I did think won rounds 2 and 3. So I think it was the right decision. I thought it was pretty clear in rounds 2 and 3, to be honest. But Chris Curtis ends up outboxing Max Griffin for most of this fight. Max Griffin had a little bit of control against the cage, yeah, but in round one, he was able to kind of stick and move with the jab in the two. Tap the low kick, go to the body a little bit. But Chris Curtis in rounds 2 and 3 just kept walking forward. He just walked forward, started to cut off the cage a little bit better and start landing punches upstairs, mix them up to the body, threw his 2 low kicks per fight. So Chris Curtis ends up winning a close decision against Max Griffin, like all of the Max Griffin's fights are. So he wins his welterweight debut, but like, I don't think he's going to make a run here at welterweight. He beat Max Griffin barely, right? And I guess you'll see what you do for him next. Dude, he's such a crybaby, though. Like, I'm really annoyed with Chris Curtis, man. I really, like, just watching him at this point, like, I get really annoyed with it. He just whines all the time. So you know what? He gets the win, but it is what it is. We're going to move on. Jake Matthews is the fucking man, dude. Chidi Njokuani was blasting kicks really well early. They're saying 3 were to the body. I thought, 2 were the head. So he landed 2 that were blocked to Jake Matthews upstairs, but they were quick kicks. They were dangerous ones, man. Like, he has really, really quick hips. Like, he was able to throw those kicks very, very well. But Jake Matthews does what he does, man. He noticed that he's like, dude, I can't be a kicking. 30 seconds in, he's like, can't be a kicking range with this guy. Starts to get into boxing range and land some punches up top. And they end up kind of exchanging a little bit. Matthews gets in the clinch. And then once he gets to the clinch, he's able to jump the back super quick or get him to the ground and jump the back and just gets the rear naked choke. He starts locking it in right away. And Chidi's he's just unable to like fight the hands fully. Like Jake Matthews gets the choke kind of in, and he's just, you can see with one hand, he's like moving Chidi's arm fighting hand around a little bit so he can just get a hold of the arm. And then he ends up getting it, pulling through, and just locks up the choke. It was a great performance, dude. Jake Matthews is on a bit of a run right now, and this is, dude, we might be seeing this guy start working his way into the rankings soon. I think Jake Matthews might be ready for a ranked contender, bro. Let's just see how he does here. Like, he lost a decision to Michael Morales, which has aged very well. He lost at 29-28, I believe. And Morales just slept Burns. Like, I'm not opposed to a Jake Matthews-Gilbert Burns matchup because Jake Matthews, we know his boxing's good. It's pretty damn good. He can throw low kicks, yes. Like, when he goes into his Muay Thai style, it's all right. But he does have good grappling. Like, people forget, man. Jake Matthews has good grappling, good submission game. I got this one wrong. Um, but man, like Jake Matthews, dude, I am happy he won. I think he can be, he's 30 years old too. Like, this guy's coming into his own. I think we're starting to see Jake Matthews hit his prime, dude. We might watch the Jake Matthews run at welterweight start right now. Because he's got, dude, what are these wins in a row he has? I think they're pretty good. One was Phil Rowe, which has aged great. Because that win over Angelusa was great. Like, he subbed Flowers. Flowers is shit. And then he goes to a decision with Michael Morales. Beats Phil Rowe. Beats Francisco Prado. Now beats Chidi and Njokuani. Maybe it's one more and then a ranked matchup. Or maybe he gets, like, the 14th or 15th ranked guy. Maybe he gets Luque and then he gets to jump to, like, the 10 guy in the rankings or something. So, we'll see what's next, dude. Jake Matthews looked good, man. He has a great performance here and absolutely schools Chidi and Njokuani. So, good win. Lauren Murphy versus Eduardo Mora. Boring shit fight like you knew it was going to be. Lauren Murphy retires. Who cares? Like, literally, who cares? They both exchanged some strikes in this fight. They both had grappling moments. Lauren Murphy tried to threaten with a couple of submissions. Strictly headhunts. Doesn't throw anything anywhere else. Eduardo Mora is able to mix it up with low kicks. Throws a little bit more volume. Wins 2 rounds. Yeah. I mean, I don't care that Lauren Murphy retired, bro. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not spending time on this. This is a waste of my time. Who cares? Eduardo Mora won. It was obvious. My GOAT, Walter Walker. Bro, this guy is making a run at heavyweight right now. Featherweight. This guy eats featherweights. I'm telling you, bro. Kennedy, and this was a great underdog pick by me. I'm going to fucking gloat all day. I told you guys, dude. Kennedy's can't defend grappling. And Walter Walker, the fight starts and he just blitzes at him. They look at each other for a minute. And about 15 seconds in, Walter Walker blitzes at him. Throws like 4 punches in a row to get in on the inside. And ends up just seeing that he's in a clinch position here. Just goes to the leg. Goes, dude, I can get this leg. Goes down, gets the leg, and has his 3rd heel hook in a row. First round heel hook submission, 3rd in a row against these heavyweights, dude. He is schooling people right now. He's a genuine prospect. This guy's a legit prospect. Hear me out. He's funny as fuck. He's promotable as fuck. He's got a great finish streak going right now. He's a huge dude. He's fast. He's athletic. This is the kind of guy that you need to give like the layup matchups to. Give him Tai Tuivasa. This is the guy that you give Tai Tuivasa to just put him in the rankings in a good spot so that way people are talking about him. You get the name of Walter Walker built off of a Tai Tuivasa. Dude, he is so much fun to watch fight. Dude, I'm a huge fucking Walter Walker fan, bro. He's awesome. This guy is heel hooking dudes. He's so smart. He's like, if he sees it, he's like, I can go for it. I'm going to go for it. And he does, and he gets these guys in these positions, and they know what's coming, and they can't stop it. Because he's so physically strong. He positions his legs perfectly, so that way the other guy is immediately trapped. I mean, it's brilliant. And he goes to it when it's dry. He's getting these when it's dry. Like, he's not going to be able to get it in round 2 or 3, or maybe he'll magically lock one up in round 2, but like, when there's a lot of sweat, and these guys have been in the fight for a while, he's not going to be able to get these heels hooks. So I like him going to it early because what is Kennedy and Nzechukwu going to do when he's on his leg? Even if like Walter Walker doesn't have the heel hook, Kennedy's not going to actually be able to get good ground and pound off on him because Walter Walker's just going to shrimp and get away from him because these heavyweights don't know what they're doing in the grappling. Especially a guy like Kennedy and Nzechukwu who's just a striker. So great win from Walter Walker, 3 in a row. Fucking love this guy, dude. This guy's honestly has potential to be like a star. Just because of how fucking funny he is, too. So, Walter Walker, round 1, heel hook. Thought he was going to get more of an arm triangle this time, but fucking heel hook, man. Mike Davis, great performance here. Jumped on the back in round 1, dominated Mitch Ramirez from the back, just threatened submissions a little bit, didn't end up getting them, and then round 2, Mike Davis is actually starting to pop his head back, lands a really good straight punch, throws a flying knee, looks really, really good in round 2 and ends up getting the TKO. So it's a good performance for Mike Davis here. Gets a win. This was a little bit of a layup of a matchup for him. Picked him to win in round 2 or 3. He got it done in round 2 or 3. Dude, I had a parlay, and this is going to talk about a great performance from Mike Davis. And then Fatima Klein just trades punches with Melissa Martinez for 3 rounds and ends up getting a sick, honestly, a sick head kick KO in round 3. So finds the head kick. Fatima Klein's good, bro. She's really, really good. And I had a parlay that was Fatima Klein by finish, Mike Davis by KO in round 2, or Mike Davis just to win in round 2. The third leg was Tafa by KO, bro. Guy screwed me again. Anyway, this was the UFC Nashville card. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. It was a decent card, nothing too crazy. The prelims were a lot better than the main card, I will say. I thought the Cater versus Garcia fight wasn't that fun. Thought the Bonfim versus Wonderboy fight was all right. It had moments, but the finish from Derrick Lewis was sick as long as the 35 seconds lasted. But other than that, man, prelims stole the show.